Right, let's get going. Let's get going. Hopefully we can get down south. How are we doing, everybody? How are we doing? We all okay? It's getting loaded in. Back onto the server, going solo on my own. Obviously, we've just spawned back in, so we are at the top of the map again, back up north. We had to get out of the bunker yesterday by spawning out. We did get trapped in the second level, but that's fun. You know, it doesn't matter. It was nice to take George in there, to be honest with you. You know, he's at the beginning of his DayZ journey. Still quite new to it, 100 hours. And as people have done for me in the past when I was around that sort of time, you know, it was nice to do that for somebody else. And for myself, really, it shows how far I've come along in the game. You know, which is really nice. That's a good part about it. That's what I like about this game as well, is it's not just the PvP, it's all the other stuff as well, you know. Yeah, there is a good social interaction aspect to it if you want to engage in that. Now we need to get to this river and get some water. A little bit on the thirsty side. It was annoying that you couldn't get water from the bottom of the bunker. That was a little bit annoying. No, annoying, disappointing, I should say. Disappointing. You know, at the end of the day, you're in that big pool at the bottom. It's got all that water in there. You should really be able to fill your water bottle up inside it, shouldn't you? Oh, you're right, George. Just talking about you. Just talking about you, saying how nice it was to be able to take you into the bunker last night. Oh, I know where I am. I know where I am. I know where I am now. I'm at grabbing. I'm at grabbing. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll go this way, actually. We'll go this way. You're still in there, are you? Yeah, you need to go into a different server, mate, to get out. You need to go into if you go into the same server, you'll just go into the same place where you're logged out. So if you go into a different server, like I have, you'll go into a different place. I'm just trying to get this stuff down south if I can to my stash. Did you enjoy your run last night, by the way? I know it was a bit of a flyer, weren't it? Just straight down. Indiscreet. Yo, Dave, you said you were stationed in Germany for five years. What was that like? Yeah, I loved it. Oh, it's good. Germany, mate, I loved it. Absolutely loved Germany, man. Brilliant. Brilliant place, brilliant people, beautiful country. And it was nice to see, obviously because I live in England, but it was nice to see architecture, historical architecture, which although recognisable to me and familiar, as in European, so castles and things like that, let's say, or, you know, like old medieval buildings, it's just to see them in a different style. It was nice, you know what I mean, and to be around. Obviously, Britain is part of Europe, and we do have European culture, but it's different, even though it's the same. You know, kind of like, I suppose, if you travel around America, you know if you're in Tennessee or if you're in California or if you're in Texas or, that every state's got a sort. Although it's America, it's different, isn't it? And it was like that. It was kind of like that for me. In Germany, it was nice, man. Just really nice. Obviously meeting new people and just good. Just good, man. I'd recommend it. I would hugely recommend Germany to anybody. Just 1 second, bud. I'll read that in a second. I loved it. It was fun to run with you. Next time we'll have to go on and run around the map, see some towns. Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely, we'll do that. We absolutely will. We'll come a bit more prepared for that instead. And yeah, we'll have a bit of a run around the map itself. Show you around the map. Get you into a gas zone or something. Get a decent gas kit on. Get us both a gas kit on and we'll go into gas zones. Have a look around them as well. That's what we say in Canada about visiting Britain. We're dying to see beautiful architecture. Yeah, man, that's... I mean, I love Canada. As I've said before, I've said many a times, I would move to Canada. I really do like Canada. It's a beautiful place. However, obviously, through nobody's fault, it lacks the same history that obviously Europe has, or not just Europe, but the whole old world. Like say Egypt or China or places like that as well. Got just as much history as Europe. I mean, a bit different if you go to Central and Southern America. You've got the Mayan and the Aztec stuff there, haven't you? That's not to, and it's not to be disparaging either. It's just the way it is, isn't it? Different civilizations were there before. But yeah, man, it's amazing having all the European architecture. It was the same when I went to Australia, though. I loved it there as well, man. Australia's an amazing country. Very similar vibes to Canada. In that it's familiar, but it's different. And to be honest with you, for me, Australia's more familiar than Canada is, because in Australia they drive on the same side of the road as us as well. So that makes it, as an Englishman, a lot more comfortable really to travel around. And they don't have the French question there either in Australia. Hon hon hon. You okay, Mary? Stucco walls with rust stains from cannonballs still lodged in them. They were left as is. Was that when you was there, was it? That's absolutely amazing, that, by the way. I never saw that. I did go to Wewelsburg Castle, though, because that's just outside of Paderborn. A very, very ancient castle. And it's obviously got a connection with the Third Reich as well. Heinrich Himmler turned it into the headquarters for the SS. And it had all weird occult stuff in there. There's it's a triangle-shaped castle, and one of the wings burnt down hundreds and hundreds of years ago, and it got rebuilt. And you can tell which part's been rebuilt. And inside there's like this big giant like black sun on the floor as well. It's crazy, man. Absolutely crazy stuff. And but they picked Wewelsburg Castle because not far from Paderborn as well. And a fun fact as well about Paderborn, where I was stationed, I was in what's called Barker Barracks, and Barker Barracks again was part of the SS tank division, so all the SS tank crews were trained there and learned to drive the tanks there. But it was the SS picked that area not just because of Wewelsburg Castle, but because not far from Paderborn there's a place called the Exersteins, and it gets called the German Stonehenge. And what it is, it's a natural rock formation. These big giant granite rocks, which got dragged along the valley floor, and they've all stood up. But they're huge. I mean, these things, they're like as tall as like a 3 or 4 story building. They're massive, but they're all stood up from where a glacier 10,000 years ago went through the valley and ripped all the all the land up formation up. But you've got all like these sort of like Viking and pagan statues carved into the Exersteins. So it's an amazing place, absolutely amazing. So much history there. And I've been to Bavaria as well. You know, went to the Chitty Bang Bang Castle. I saw that. You know, and it's been generally around. You know, generally around. Did a lot of skiing in Austria as well. That was nice. And France. Went skiing on Mont Blanc and Le Contamines. If someone says this building is 150 years old, everyone is amazed. Yeah, that's what you got to remember when you visit Europe, mate. When you see a number above a door and it says like 950, that doesn't mean the house number. That's the year it was built. Australia almost seems like country everywhere to me, which is very much like Canada. Lots of farmers and people living in the sticks. Yeah, man, that really is a lot of Australia. That it really is very sparsely populated. Our convoys rolled many times through small towns. Drive on, soldiers. Whereabouts was you stationed, Mary? In Germany. Yeah, I would definitely recommend Germany to visit for anybody. Paderborn, it's an amazing place. So much history there as well. It's got 3 cathedrals, and for Europeans, it's the second holiest place in, second holiest city in Europe. To the point of where, if the Vatican was to for some reason disappear, I don't know, let's say Russia nuked the Vatican, the Pope would relocate to Paderborn. That's how important it is. German women. You know, the German women were lovely. It's not the 1980s anymore. Schweinfurt. I've not heard of that, to be honest with you, Schweinfurt. Whereabouts is that? German food. I love German food, man. I love it. Schnitzel is amazing. Schnitzel and sauerkraut. Love it. They do a good steak as well, the Germans. Currywurst as well, that's nice. Yeah, man, schnitzel's good. It's good. It is very nice, schnitzel. It's not hard to make really either, is it? It's just a nice meal. I mean, a decent sized schnitzel could be a meal on its own anyway. You know. Spätzle or whatever it's called. The boiled dough noodle things. Oh, yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember what they're called. But yeah, they're nice as well. They are nice. Berlin was a bit of a rip-off when we went though. It was a good time, don't get me wrong. We had a right good laugh in Berlin. But it's a bit expensive. Then there's the good old American cheeseburger. Yep. Not wrong with a cheeseburger. Not wrong with a cheeseburger at all. My German grandmother came from a small town, which means West Mill near the Czech border, Bavaria area. Yeah, I was in Bavaria for about 4 or 5 months. I was in what was called the REME, for anybody who doesn't know. That's the Royal Electrical and Mechanical Engineers. I was a mechanic. And whilst I was in, the REME was loaning a big sort of house down there. It had like 8 bedrooms in it. and we were using it as like a mini hotel, you know, so people could go skiing and stuff in Bavaria, but only for Remy soldiers or ex-Remy. And I volunteered to do a stint working in it for a few months. It was quite good actually down in Bavaria. Oh, what was it called again where we were at? I can't even remember what it's called now, where we were. It was only a little tiny village as well. Near, oh, I think it was near Sonthofen, I think it was. Was Sonthofen Austria? I'm sure Sonthofen's in Bavaria. I'm sure it is. But anyway, it was a good time. I had a good time there. It was in summer as well, so it was beautiful. There's a massive lake next to us, and we used to go out there when we had time off, and you could rent pedalos. So we go out on the pedalo drinking beers, watching the birds of prey flying down, catching things like trout and stuff out of the lake. Amazing. Well, I went from mechanics in the army to working on the railway. I spent nearly 7 years driving an engineering train, a grinding train. But I wasn't just driving the train, we did all the maintenance and repairs of the train as well. But unfortunately I got quite ill, so I had to come off the railway. And then from that I went self-employed, just doing furniture, delivering, subcontracting to a furniture firm, just delivering sofas and stuff while I was recovering. And now I'm doing truck driving because I got my HGV licence through the army. I'm trying to get back on the railway again, but I don't know if I'll be able to be honest with you. I don't know if I'll be able to. I'd love to get that job back. I absolutely loved it. They're doing safety critical preventative maintenance on the tracks. Schweinfurt is south of Würzburg, and another relative lived in Stuttgart. The buses and trains leave the very minute the schedule indicates. Bathroom cost charge to pay. Yeah, I do. I think they've stopped that now, though, the bathroom charges on the trains. Sounds like a crazy ride. Yeah, man, it has been a crazy ride for me. It has. But I don't mind it. I don't mind doing the driving. Yeah, I get left alone. That's the main thing. I don't get bothered. The pay's rubbish, don't get me wrong. It's absolutely awful, the pay. But I've got enough to keep the bills covered, so I'm happy with that. There's no stress. I don't get anybody ringing me up, bothering me, demanding things from me or anything like that. So I'm happy in that regard. The hours are sociable enough, you know. On the railway, it was a two-car, what's called S&C grinding train. And what S&C stands for is switches and crossings. So where the points move, we specialised in grinding that part of the track to reprofile it. So basically, when trains are driving over the track, they're causing damage. The wheels are causing damage to the railhead all the time. Kind of like if you're hitting a chisel with a hammer. You get like a mushrooming, don't you, around the top of the chisel head? Well, you get similar damage to the rail by trains. So the job of the grinding is to limit the amount of damage on the railhead to try and prevent the rail from having a catastrophic failure through things like ingress of water, rust, you know, ice in winter, that sort of stuff. It also helps the trains just to stay on the track a bit safer and a bit more efficiently. So as well as operating the train and driving the train, operating the plant equipment, like I say, we did all the maintenance and repairs. So if we needed to do reactive maintenance on a night, say a hydraulic hose burst or something like that, we could change that. If we were working days, we'd do the daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, 2 yearly, 5 yearly maintenance schedule. And also if any repairs or anything needed to happen, we could get on with that if we had the parts and the tools on the train to do it. Otherwise we'd have to ring up the support guys to come out with the vans. Not the train, at the station. I was artillery repair, secondary MOS tank turret. Oh, nice, nice. Was that with the Americans, was it? That doesn't sound bad at all. Sounds kind of fun. Very fun and very exciting. I loved it. Loved that job. Very, very mixed bag of work. You know, every day was different. You know, it's not like, say, just being a mechanic where you're just turning spanners every day, or like I am now, just being a truck driver where all you do is drive a truck every day. You know, there was a lot of variety in the job. I loved it, man. Absolutely loved it. Always thinking. You know, no two problems were ever the same. Paid well as well, which was a bonus. You know, not gonna lie, pay was excellent, and the benefits as well, excellent benefits. But it is what it is. They're very strict on the railway, as they should be. You know, it's like working in the nuclear or the oil industry. You know, it's very high risk work. A lot of people can get killed very quickly if you're not careful. So I get it. I get it. You know, as much as it saddens me that I don't still work on the railway, I do understand it. You know, and I would never ever want to put other people's lives at risk. You know, for my own wants and needs. You know, it is what it is. I hope you can get back into it or something similar. Yeah, man, I'd love it. It's the sort of work I like doing, obviously, like being ex-army as well. Or if I could get on the oil rigs, I'd do that as well. You know, working offshore in the North Sea. I'd love to do that, man. I know a lot of people would absolutely hate it, you know, the massive waves and the storms and all that sort of stuff. I love it, mate. I love adventure. You know, if I got offered to go on working on the International Space Station, I'd do it. You know, I'm that sort of a person. You know, if a job came up to go mining on an asteroid for a year, I'd do it. You know, if they said we're going to send you up on a big spaceship, you're going to go spend a year in outer space mining on this giant asteroid we found for a year. Incredibly dangerous, the worst conditions you can imagine. It's going to be hell on earth. You're going to be working 16 to 18 hours a day. I'll be like, yep, I'll do it. I'll do it. Sounds fun. I'm just that sort of an idiot. Asteroid, yeah, man, I would. I'd work on an asteroid. I'm not even joking. Not even joking, mate. Yeah, mate, yeah, it is. People who do that sort of work are idiots, aren't they? Let's be honest, you're risking life and limb. You know, that's why them sort of jobs pay so well. It is what I picked up last night. Yeah, Mike with the hoodie. Yo, how you doing, buddy? You okay? You know, never forget, guys. That's why they pay so well. Them jobs. They don't pay well because they're cushy numbers. They pay well because people don't want to do them in general because they're dangerous and dirty. The asteroid might fall to Earth due to gravity of your balls. To be honest with you, mate, I think I'm just too thick to understand the risk. That's all it is. It's nothing to do with being brave or anything like that. Have you ever seen that photograph of the US Marines who've got a mountain lion in the barracks with them? They've just somehow managed to find a wild mountain lion and brought it into the barracks, and they're sat on a bed with it on the knee. That's the sort of stupid thing I'd do. You know, like just find a wild mountain lion and just bring it in. You don't feed it and pet it. Oh, mate, just once. I'll see if I don't know if I'll be able to share the link. But 1 second, I'll see if I'll just have a quick look on Google. I'll tell you what to type to find it. Funny picture, man. I'll put it on the community page actually. So funny. Sorry guys, I'm just typing. I've just found the image. I'm just downloading it now, and then I'm going to put it on the community page. Now I'm just going to upload it in a second. You'll have to press the image to fully enlarge it though, because it's cropped it just for showing it on the page. Press image to... sorry, I'm just writing out the message for people. Right, I've just posted that now. It should have uploaded on there. Hilarious. Absolutely. That's the sort of stupid thing that I do. Let me check this made up story out. Oh, the photographic evidence is there. The look on the guy's face as well is amazing. He's just got a look on his face. He's like, oh my god, I can't believe we're doing this. It's like a 5-year-old kid who's managed to steal a biscuit or a cookie out of the jar. Like, oh, I can't believe I've got away with this. Petting the mountain lion on the bed. Absolutely amazing. He's never been more thrilled, but waiting to be eaten. Oh, mate, tell me about it. It's an amazing picture, that, isn't it? Absolutely amazing. But yeah, that's the sort of stupid thing I'd do. Like, genuinely, you know. Or I'd be like, right, I'm going to one up you. I'm going to go find a grizzly bear. Let's find a grizzly bear and bring it into the barracks. You know, I am that much of an idiot. But then I'm that much of an idiot about it. I'd actually do it successfully as well. You know, without getting mauled. And then the bear would leave. Probably maul somebody else at a later time, you know, because it's been habitualised around people at that point. But that's the sort of fool I am. Look, guys, I'm riding a bear. It's like a big furry horse. Mate, you are the definition of natural selection. Oh yeah, man, absolutely. I've probably got an ancestor somewhere like 10,000 years ago who was one of the first people ever to ride a horse, you know what I mean? You know, him and all his mates, he just sat there on the plains and he turns around to his buddy, hey Thorag, hold my beer and watch this. I'll tell you what, those guys during like the Stone Age and that, oh, they must have been absolute beasts, them guys, to have survived with what they had to live with. You know, things like mammoths and stuff. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. They must have had physiques like an Olympic swimmer as well. You know, just from having how they had to live and survive. They would have just been like pure lean muscle. Them guys. Yeah, but don't forget, wood community, not just one caveman. Oh yeah, man, totally. I got Neanderthal DNA still. Missed the update. You got the big mono brow of you. I don't know where I've got this cold from. You pluck it. Embrace it. Let your knuckles drag on the floor. Yeah, I think I've got a bit of that in me as well. My kids ask me, Daddy, why are your fingers so hairy? It's because I'm a daddy. Daddies are meant to have hair on the hands and the feet and their arms. They'll sit there stroking my forearms. Daddy, why are your forearms so hairy? I heard that hunter-gatherer tribes burn about the same amount of calories as we do day to day. Well, I bet they would have burnt more calories than we do, because we live very sedentary lives now, don't we, in comparison to them? Yeah, they do, man. They're funny, my kids. I know everybody says it, but man, I love kids anyway, you know what I mean? I love kids. I think kids are brilliant. Because they're unfiltered as well, aren't they? You know, they just say whatever's on their mind. I love that about them. Obviously, you've got to try and teach them manners and that and respect. But I never tell them off, you know, if they're asking things. You know, like pointing things out about people and stuff. And they're at that age now where they're at least discreet enough as well to not, you know, just shout it out. Why is that lady so fat, Daddy? Yeah, my boy's funny. Yeah, man, he was making me laugh yesterday when you went away for a few minutes. He was making silly noises down the microphone. He was making me laugh, that. Right, we do live sedentary lives, but it's amazing how the body adapts to needing about two. Yeah, no, I don't dispute that, mate. And I mean, it's not just the body; it's the human brain as well. You know, I mean, anybody who's ever done a full day's thinking, you know, like whether it's studying or problem solving at work or whatever, you'll know just how fatigued you are, because it burns. You know, your brain burns a lot of calories. You know, and obviously if you're thinking, you're burning even more calories. So I don't dispute that, man. You know what I mean? I think people are thinking a lot more now than they used to. Because once upon a time, like with the cavemen times, yeah, when they were out hunting and stuff, they were thinking. But once they've killed that big rhino or whatever it was they've killed, you know, they're not hunting for a few days then, are they? They're not doing a lot of thinking then. You know, they're just chilling out, aren't they? You know, so I think we do, in that regard, work a lot more than them. You know, this whole 8 hours a day, 5 days a week work week thing, it's a very new thing, you know. Very new. Oh, like the last 100 years or something. Oh no, poor kids. I avoid a full day of thinking if I can. Yorkshire George is laughing as well, that's true. Yeah, man, it's true, yeah. It is true, buddy. I believe when they first opened the mills, near where I live actually, the first mills, Arkwrights, in Lancashire, which is where I live in England, and they were getting obviously trying to get the people off from the farms to work in them. You know, we hear about all the strictness of the Victorian era and all that sort of rubbish. They had a massive problem with trying to get people just to turn up on time, because when people were just working on the farms, they'd just get up when they wanted and go to work when they wanted. You know, like you'd have families living together, multiple generations, and just when you woke up was when you woke up. And if you couldn't be bothered working that day, you wouldn't. You know, they just did what they had to do, and then that were it. You know, I'm not saying the lives were better than ours today. Obviously, they were full of illness and malnourished and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, when they were trying to get them into the factories, apparently they were having nightmares trying to get people just to turn up to work on time, and people would be arguing relentlessly with the bosses as well, because they weren't used to working with people who weren't the family members. You know, that was a new concept. Unless you worked in like the King's Court or you were a guard at some castle with a lord or something, why would you ever work with somebody who wasn't a family member? You know, before the Industrial Revolution. You know, there's very few reasons for it. Roosters, baby, yeah, man, yeah. But again, that was only if you wanted to. You know, most of your produce that you would have grown was for yourself and your family. You know. And whatever surplus you had, you'd obviously sell it. But you spend, I think, the only, apparently people only worked about half the year, didn't they? For most of history. About half the year that was it. I know they'd be doing other things as well, like, you know, you'd be preparing winter clothes and stuff like that, or, you know, gathering firewood for when winter came and stuff, but, you know, it's not exactly hard, is it? Just thinking ahead. I reckon if you brought somebody from the Middle Ages to now, they'd think we were crazy, wouldn't they? with how we live. As much as we look at them and think like, how could somebody live like that? I bet they'd think the same about us. They'd obviously like certain aspects of our living, like refrigeration and, you know, lights being able to be switched on whenever, you know, telephones. But I bet they wouldn't be able to get their heads around like the hours that we work. That I think they'd find crazy, and how families live so far apart from each other as well. I bet they'd be absolutely flabbergasted by that. I like seeing the old, the really old photographs, you know, when the very first ones that were made, when people didn't do serious faces and they were smiling. Obviously the pictures all come out blurry, but it just shows like that people did actually have personalities back then as well, and enjoyed having fun, you know, and that the serious pictures were just so they could get a nice picture. I love the memes about going back in time and showing cavemen something like a PlayStation game. I don't even think they'd understand what was going on, would they? Oh, 1 second. I've just been invited to a party. 1 minute. How do?
Here he is, the man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah, how you doing?
How do?
Aye, how do indeed. Hey up.
Hey up. Hey up, duck.
Yeah.
Duck? Is that what you say?
No, that's not Sheffield. That's
Sheffield, isn't it?
I think it could be. No, it's not Sheffield. I think they might do in Sheffield.
Stoke.
Stafford and Stoke. That's it. Yeah, Stafford and
That's
Stoke. Yeah.
I was up there not too long ago. I had someone call me Duck.
I believe Stafford is the southernmost northern town. After Stafford,
southernmost northern town.
Yeah, after Stafford, when you go south, it then becomes Midlands.
God.
Yeah, so that's like the very cusp of being northern.
Right.
So.
Where are you again? Where are you from?
Lancashire, God's country.
Lancashire, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
You're what? Sorry.
God's country.
I think you cunt's country.
Some people might call us that. You know, maybe those from Yorkshire. You know, they'll probably say that.
Started already.
Sort of shite
You get told off by your Peggy, yeah?
Yeah, again.
Have you told him you got a curfew?
Huh?
Have you told him you got a curfew?
Got a curfew?
Yeah, you heard her right, Dave.
Yeah. Does she keep your balls in a handbag, does she?
Yeah.
Put a lead on you before you go out?
You keep my balls in your handbag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're fucking wearing her teeth in for a horse over there.
Yeah. You wear the trousers, but only after she picks them for you.
Yeah. Right, I'm logging in to get your ass out this corner.
Oh, yeah. Oh, don't worry about it, mate. You just spend time with your missus. You can't get that time back, you know.
That's it. I don't want it back. You went to spend time with your missus. He said you won't get that time back. How I don't want it back.
You have to sign that when you're on holiday in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah.
Have you two got any jollies booked for later in the year or next year?
Well, we're going away in 2 weeks.
Oh, where are you going?
10 days.
Go Mallorca.
Lovely.
Not Mallorca. Where are we going? Calador?
Mallorca.
Yeah, Mallorca, innit?
Oh, that'd be nice, that, mate. It'll still be warm as well.
Yeah.
Still be warm. Hopefully it doesn't rain as well while you're there. But saying that, it can be quite refreshing as long as it's not sustained rain. You know, it's a quick shower.
You got them 2 tyres on you?
I do, yeah.
I'll put mine back on the car. You're leaving all these tent doors open, you moron.
I didn't open them.
Huh?
I didn't open them.
Alright.
The outside doors are open, I think, as well. The front doors, the blue ones.
Bollocks. Oh shit, they are,
Yeah. I didn't obviously open them. Open the door. Right, let's.
Oh, you nosy fucker. I have to take this tossing tent down to dismantle this and all.
I've just got loads of lag then, guys. I think there could be something around here, or someone. You're not wrong, Yorkshire's God's country. Now, why would you say that, Yorkshire, George? What would make you say that Yorkshire is God's country instead of Lancashire? Yeah, and he's not in balls in the back. Funny, man, funny.
You find that funny, doesn't he?
Yeah. He's George is quite new to the game. He's got about 100 hours. So because I found I found a bunker card on my other profile, I met him in North Livonia and took him to a bunker last night for the first time.
Alright.
So got him a bit of loot in there.
Touch him up in the dark as well.
Oh, absolutely, touched him up in the dark. It's got to be done, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It'd be rude not to.
I'm sick of you in this fucking hole.
Says you. Yeah, you christened it.
Yeah, I didn't think you'd go and bloody do it yourself as well.
Well, I stood up on it to check the quality of the walls, and I'd moved a bit too far to the left, across it, and just fell down. And I was like, oh Christ. Funny, mate, I laughed, obviously. after what we'd been through with you down there.
Yeah.
And I tried doing what you did, try and throw me stuff out of it, and that I couldn't, obviously. Just laugh. I was just laughing my head off to myself, going, "What an idiot! What an absolute idiot I am falling down here."
Yeah, I bet you were like, "We're in our message just in a minute, resuscitate the piss."
Yeah, absolutely. If you leave these stuff put away elsewhere, and when I get out, I'll put the tent back and fill it back up again. Oh, mate.
Alright.
I wonder if it's worth putting the barrel down there in that corner just so I can not fall down it in future.
You don't fall down it, you mean? I've learnt my lesson.
Oh, I've not. I've definitely not learned my lesson. I got 2 NBC kits out of the thingy last night at the bunker as well. Oh, nice. Yeah.
Are you coming on this server so we can get some jobs done?
I can do if you want me to, mate.
Yeah, if you want to.
Yeah, no, I'll pop over now. All I'm doing on mine is just heading south, that's all, to get this NBC kit put away. But yeah, I'll come over in a minute. What I'll do, guys, everybody watching, I'll just have to end the stream just to protect the server number of the other server. I don't care about my own stream, obviously my own stuff, but it's not fair on Reese, who's been very kind to run with me, and to have just to give it all away to some people watching on stream. So we'll have a laugh with Reese as well.
Yeah, try and get some more loot done. Might be worth taking the car down to that town where we looted last time and found like barrels and shit.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan. That it does.
Get some building supplies from there as well.
Right, guys, I'm just going to end the stream now. I'll be back on in about 2 or 3 minutes. What I'll do, I'll keep the number the same as it is, so 126, but I'll make it 126.1. So I'll be back on in a minute or two.